Assemble, future drivers! Today, we're counting down the 10 best Chevy Camaro models of all time. Whether you're a muscle car enthusiast or just appreciate good engineering, we've got something for everyone in this list. So sit back, relax, and get ready to take a ride down memory lane. First spot, we have the 2023 Callaway Chevrolet Camaro SC630. Callaway cars have a long history of taking GM's finest machines and turning them into absolute beasts, and the Camaro is no exception. With the SC630, you get to choose between the LT1 or SS trims, and then Callaway goes to work, cranking up the horsepower to a mind-blowing 630 horses. And if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. The SC630 can rocket through the quarter mile in just 11.8 seconds. That's faster than a cheetah on roller skates. But the best part? You still get to keep your GM warranties thanks to Callaway's expert modifications. And that was just the starter. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be intimidated. Because at number 9, we're talking about the 2001 Chevy Camaro Intimidator SS. A machine so rare and powerful that even the legendary Dale Earnhardt himself has had a hand in creating it. That's right, Earnhardt and Chevy teamed up to create this exclusive package, which included a specialized exhaust system, a bespoke intake, 3.73 rear gears, and a total output of 381 horsepower. Talk about taking the Camaro to the extreme. And if you thought that was impressive, get this. Only 83 of these bad boys were ever built, and to make it even more rare, 33 of them were personally signed by Earnhardt himself, making them a true collector's item. So if you're lucky enough to get your hands on one of these beauties, just remember one thing. You're not driving a car, you're driving a legend. Coming hot at number 8, the 1967 Chevy Camaro Z28. It's like the cool kid in school that everyone wants to be friends with, and for good reason. Because this car was built for one thing and one thing only, to dominate the track. That's right, folks. The Z28 was a homologation special, which means it was built specifically for competition in the SCCA's Trans Am series. And with a heavily modified 302 CID small block V8 under the hood, this baby had some serious muscle. The Z28's engine was so powerful that even Chevy underestimated its output, rating it at 290 horsepower. But some experts say it was more like 360 horsepower. That's like having a secret weapon under your hood. And let's not forget about the Corvette valve heads, solid lifters, beefier cam, and reworked intake manifold that made this engine sing. It was like Chevy took all the best parts of their other cars and crammed them into one. That's all cool, but wait till you see the next one. Chevy decided to follow the retro-themed trends with this Camaro, and it paid off. The exterior styling was spot on, and the 2010 SS was one of the most iconic muscle cars of all time. In fact, it was so good that it led the Camaro onto its path of resurrection for well over a decade. You know what that means, folks? We have a decade worth of awesome Camaros to binge watch. So sit back, relax, and let's watch the Camaro's journey from dead to the living, and from the living to the Muscle Car Hall of Fame. Coming up next, the 2002 Chevy Camaro 35th Anniversary Edition. A car so special, it was like the Camaro's way of giving itself a farewell party. It's like that one friend who throws a massive goodbye bash before moving out of town, except in this case, the Camaro was moving out of production. This car was the last hurrah for the F-body Camaros and Pontiac Firebirds, and boy did it go out with a bang. It had all the bells and whistles, with distinct vinyls and an upgraded exhaust system that screamed, "I'm not going down without a fight." And fight it did, as these special edition Camaros still command high prices today. It's like they're saying, I may be old, but I'm still valuable, darn it. And who can blame them? These cars were the last of their kind, like the unicorns of the Camaro world. If you're lucky enough to get your hands on one of these rare beasts, make sure to take care of it. It's like adopting a retired superhero. They may not have powers anymore, but they still deserve love and attention. How about we go a little retro? Taking the 5th spot on our list is the 1993 Chevy Camaro Z28. The perfect car for those who want to feel the wind in their hair and the nostalgia in their heart. This car marked a turning point for the Camaro as it moved away from the boxy design of the 80s and embraced a sleeker, more aerodynamic look. With its flowing lines and bold curves, the 1993 Z28 was a feast for the eyes. And let's not forget the power under the hood. The 5.7-liter V8 engine was a force to be reckoned with, pumping out 275 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. But perhaps the best thing about the 1993 Camaro Z28 was the feeling of freedom it gave you. With the T-top roof, you could let the sunshine in and feel the wind rushing through your hair as you cruise down the highway. It's the kind of car that makes you want to turn up the tunes and sing at the top of your lungs, even if you're off-key. So if you're looking for a car that's equal parts style and substance, look no further than the 1993 Chevy Camaro Z28. Let's go a little bit further back. The early 80s. A time when car enthusiasts were forced to suffer through government regulations that practically strangled the life out of American muscle cars. But just when all hope seemed lost, in steps the legendary Don Yenko with the 1981 Yenko Turbo Z. With its turbocharged engine and other hot rodding tricks, this car was a true performance machine that finally gave enthusiasts what they've been missing for years. The Turbo Z was so powerful that it made other cars from the era look like golf carts in comparison. In fact, Yenko never officially rated the Turbo Z's horsepower, but experts estimated that it produced well over 300 horsepower. That's more than double the factory rating of the Camaro Z28 from the same year. And with only 19 units ever built, these rare cars are like unicorns in the automotive world. Oh boy, the car at number 3. The 1969 Copo Camaros are stuff of legend, and owning one is like having a golden ticket to a world of high-performance muscle cars. These cars were not for the faint of heart, as they were specially ordered straight from the factory with high-powered engines and other performance components, making them the ultimate Camaros of their time. With their rarity and unmatched performance capabilities, the Copo Camaros are like unicorns in the automotive world, and if you manage to get your hands on one, you can expect to pay a king's ransom. But it's worth it, for the feeling of driving a piece of history and power like no other. Hold tight, future drivers, we're now digging up the top 2 spots. Take a little time to guess which cars would take those. Baldwin Chevrolet and Motion Performance teamed up to create this powerhouse of a car, which was built to dominate the drag strip. In fact, Baldwin Motion guaranteed that the Stage 3 could run the quarter mile in just 11.5 seconds. That's faster than a cheetah on roller skates. So, if you want a car that's both fast and rare, the Baldwin Motion Camaro Stage 3 is the perfect choice. With only a handful of these cars ever produced, you'll be the envy of every muscle car enthusiast on the block. Just make sure to wear a helmet when you hit the gas pedal, cause this car is a beast. Last but not least, we have the 1969 Chevy Camaro ZL1. If this car were a person, it would be the coolest kid in school. The kind of kid who not only excels in sports, but also dominates in math class. And when it comes to cars, the ZL1 is the king of the hill. But here's the kicker. Only 69 of these bad boys were ever made. That's right, this car is rarer than a unicorn. So if you ever see one in person, you should probably take a moment to appreciate its majesty. And if you're lucky enough to own one, well, congratulations, you've won the muscle car lottery. In fact, the ZL1 is so rare that it's almost like spotting a celebrity in the wild. And just like a celebrity, the ZL1 has a certain mystique that surrounds it. It's a car that commands respect, and if you're lucky enough to drive one, you'll be the envy of every other car on the road.